Hello, everyone, and welcome to FA 2020. This is Feminine Angle 2020, where we'll look at everything, every topic from a feminine perspective, but looking at it in hindsight.
Hi, everybody. My name is Toyin Okoyomo.
My name is Mobo Oreshego. Toyin, what are we discussing today?
We're talking about finances.
Right, finances in general terms, especially as it affects women, as it affects the home, as it affects relationships, as it affects us maybe when we were younger.
And things we can change or who could have changed in retrospect.
Right, so why is money talk, why is it important? Because looking at it, right, they say one of the love languages. Is money a love language?
Oh, yes.
I was thinking that love language is more about act of service, giving of gifts,
But it all boils down to money.
Okay, so
the cost to is money.
all right, so if you're giving gifts, essentially, you're saying that money has a part to play when you're giving gifts.
How do you get the gifts?
It could be a hand painting now, Abby. It could be that. It could be
hand painting. You're not going to buy the stencil, materials, the canvas, and all that.
So, in other words, there's nothing that we can do within a relationship that does not involve money.
Yeah.
So that's in the aspects of relationship. But why is money important to a woman?
Money gives security to a large extent because you need money to run a home. And most women are very deep thinkers and they're planners. Most women are already thinking, even before they have a child, oh, what school will my child go to? They think ahead.
I think this is one of the things that we probably never discussed when we were, back in the day.
About to shake the tables.
Back in the day, this is one of the things that we really didn't discuss, right? When it comes to the money aspect. Honestly, even before the relationships, even before the marriage, even before starting a family, having children and all of that, right? What did you do about your money? When you were earning as a single lady, what are the things that you did with your own money?
Mwah. Baby girl life.
You were visiting Aboki in
Baby girl life. We're buying gold in Wuse markets. We're having the time of our lives, taking care of moi.
Did it even occur to you at that time to think about the future? Say, okay, I need to put something away towards the future, or I need to save, or I need to. Did it ever occur to you?
Honestly, no. And that's one of the basis of this podcast. We're trying to help younger women, honestly, not to make some, for lack of a better word, mistakes that we made back in the days, and to help you to become a stronger woman.
Okay, so having said that, what do you think should be approached when it comes to finances, when it comes to money? Starting life as a single person.
As a single person, I think many women you shouldn't rush into marriage before actually knowing yourself and developing yourself. I mean, have what you're doing.
So tell you what you're saying in essence is that, starting out as a young female, as a young person, that you have to be self-sufficient.
Sure.
First off, before you even start to think about relationships. But I think the reverse is the case these days, because you see a lot of young women wanting to go into a relationship because they're thinking that maybe they're going to get it better then. Now somebody's going to take care of me. I don't have to do that myself.
That's what we're here to correct.
So is this how we started?
Yeah.
Or
basically, let's be honest, most women of our generation felt marriage was going to be the answer to all our problems.
So has it changed now, though, in your own perspective? Has it changed?
Yeah, many women are more self-aware. When you're when you're independent, I mean, you have your own, then you will not sell yourself short. Most times, many women used to settle for less because of what the other person had to offer. But if if I have a car, I can take myself on vacation. Then you coming to take me on vacation is not a big deal.
All right. So in essence, what you're saying is that emotional intelligence should be part of the package, right? So it's not just about the money.
Yes.
So because okay, so I want to say that what I see a lot of these days is that, so I'm not trying to belittle the men. What's obtainable most of the time, don't crucify me, is that men want to throw money out there and then think that the money will work for them or the money will speak for them. So the emotional engagement is no longer there. You don't really want to know the person. You just think, okay, you know what, if I meet her needs, if I buy her the things that she wants, if I give her the money that she wants, I'm taking her on trips, then nothing else matters.
That is why many women need to change that narrative, because that's the narrative many women, I'm being very selective, I'm not saying all women, that's the narrative many women have given the male folk to feel that all you need to date a girl is money. I mean, you don't even have anything to say, you have nothing to contribute to any discussion, you just feel, let me just go and make money.
So if there's a business concern that the man is probably involved in, you don't have a contribution towards it because you guys didn't discuss that. You probably wouldn't be valued in that extent where it calls for your contribution towards some decisions that needs to be made concerning this business venture that it's going into, right? Because he sees you as a property, something that is acquired.
A trophy wife. Because the truth is, such discussions were not hard, or conversations hard, that the man doesn't even know the woman's capabilities, because he probably just sees her as a woman. He doesn't know her strong points. He may be dating a very intelligent, economically deep sensed woman, but he doesn't know that because they don't get into that realm of discussion.
So they never had it in the past.
No, but to be honest, when we were dating as a young girl, did you used to discuss career and all that with your dates?
It wasn't something, it wasn't up. It never came up.
Dates then used to be shawarma, ice cream, got me perfume, it's Valentine's Day, what's he getting me, where are we going to,
teddy bears,
and like I can say, or maybe get a point, am I going to get proposed to on Valentine's Day? And these deep conversations were not hard.
Exactly. As we're beginning to see that finance is the number one topic when it comes to divorces or separation within the home.
Yeah, true.
Right? Where and it's not even about maybe not having enough money. It's about the power tussle that money represents within the home. So say maybe it's a wife that is earning more right now. Maybe at the time when they started, I mean, you've heard of the stories, right? Mm-hmm. Where men will go back and then go and wife somebody in Nigeria. Maybe they were working odd jobs, right? They were working regular
survival jobs.
So if they were doing that, earning basic pay, but because they're willing to pull the extra hours, they're making enough. Mm-hmm. And then they brought this woman in, sent her to nursing school. Mm-hmm. And then the woman becomes a nurse. She's rolling her eyes because, we've had this conversation several times, and then the woman becomes a nurse and right now earning maybe like 3 times what the man is earning, mm-hmm. right? These conversations were never had. The man is with the patriarchal ideology, mm-hmm. where he's thinking that the man is the head regardless of whatever. But right now, this woman is now open to the Western ideology where she's thinking that everything should be a partnership, mm-hmm. right? So in being a partnership, in other words, you bring your money, I bring my money, and then we're able to sustain this family. However, this time around, she's wanting, okay, so if I'm bringing my money and you also contributing, then we're going to go into the upkeep of the home as partners. So therefore, I'm not the only one that is taking care of the children. Mm-hmm. I'm not the only one that is cooking. I'm not the only one that is doing the school runs. I'm not the only one that is driving the children around. Everything has to be
Both
a
parties,
collaboration,
yeah.
right? So these conversations were really never had, where the woman is thinking, I cannot be earning, like giving 80% of the contributions towards the finances of the home, and then you're still expecting me to take on 80% of the domestic chores. So these are some of the issues, but did we discuss it?
No. So you see, talking openly, it ensures fairness and support, because without discussions, how do you come about conclusions?
So in other words, we might be running on that assumptions.
Yeah, because there's a communication gap somewhere, and you're not on the same page, for starters, because
or more like there's a misconception somewhere, because we're thinking that, okay, yes, so assumably, right, because she's a woman, she will always have this role.
Yeah.
There's a gender bias somewhere where the woman should always have this role, and then the man should always have this other role, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't have those conversations. What do you think about joint accounts?
Joint accounts, I think the essence of joint accounts has been misunderstood by a lot of people. Joint account doesn't mean slavery or financial slavery, caging. No, it's where the two people involved come together. Okay, we have a project. This is want to put money into and put aside. I am not of the opinion that joint accounts should be where I put in all my earnings and he puts in all his earnings. So I think, I'm using the word think because people may have different opinions. Where you see where there's a problem is where people are putting in amount and one person is a spender.
On the other hand too, I'm saying, or what I want to say is that having a joint account should be a discussion that's been had.
Yes, right. And the terms and conditions should be
because we could actually agree on it.
Yeah.
Right? That if we're going to have a joint account, then we should have maybe a sole account, meaning that or your salary goes into the account and same does mine. It doesn't matter if I'm earning 100,000 and you're earning 50, or maybe you're earning 500,000 and I'm earning 100, right? That everything goes into the account. And then from that general account, we can now have a personal expense account. Now, this is very important. Even though we have a general account that is the joint account, we should also have a expense that we should. As a matter of fact, I think when we get into relationships, or not relationship, I'm not using that word lightly. I'm saying that when there is a marriage, actually, I don't subscribe to when people are still dating and then they have a joint account already.
No.
Okay? Because anything can happen. Even in marriage itself, anything can happen. But when it is a marriage and there is, you sit down and have this discussion, I believe that there should be 3 accounts. The joint account, the personal account, and the expense account.
Okay.
The joint account will be maybe where all the monies go into. Why? Because this is what you use to plan for the future.
Okay.
All right? Then the expense account is where all the monies for taking care of different expenses should go. Say maybe you're paying mortgage, you're paying rent, insurance, utility bills, you're doing groceries, you're taking care of the children's needs, or maybe you need to buy gas into your car. All of whatever is termed as an expense should be from that expense account. And then finally, both of your personal accounts. Now, I'm not saying they're going to have another joint account again. So we have joint account and then we'll call it personal. No, we both have our personal accounts. He has his, you have yours, where anything that you want to do, whether it is that bag that I want to buy, that bag.
I whistle on that bag. I'll buy it for you.
That bag.
I'll buy it for you.
Whether it is that bag that you want to buy, or maybe your It could be something as small as buying a cup of coffee, or maybe sending money home.
Yeah.
To
talking about sending money home. This issue of how much do you send home? Should you discuss it with the other person?
To be honest with you, I think that should be a personal decision. Once you have your personal account, you can take it from your personal account, right? Because when you're thinking, say, okay, so I should discuss with my husband, say, I want to send 100,000 home. And to be honest with you, to be very honest, men do not discuss how much they send to their families. They can discuss it that, I want to send money home or something. But the exact amount that they're sending, they don't discuss it.
Okay.
So therefore, if it's going to be a touchy issue where I'm thinking that maybe the money is too much that you're sending, knowing that this is what's on ground, I feel, send your own, I'll send my own. So whatever it is, after all, you are doing well and everything, let me send whatever it is, so that the expectations maybe can be reduced. And usually, I'm thinking, so maybe if it's your siblings that you're trying to help, it should be like a one-off, not a regular thing, right?
What is the regular thing? Where the man or the woman is still helping to finance the younger one's education.
Okay, so I think that's a topic for another day.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm thinking that it's a huge responsibility, honestly, to lay on a child, to be the one that will be responsible for the education or the upkeep of their sibling. It's a lot of responsibility. Now, this is my own opinion. That's another topic that we should look into.
Okay.
Having children that we can personally, as parents, take care of. If it's 1, if it's 2, because at the end of the day, when our relatives or our families or our parents are telling us, you cannot have one. Person will born one, no come out for person will no born at all. Or when you have to, no, 2 is too small, just put 1 in the midst, so that it will balance. There's nothing balanced, right?
When you get to the say, come on, get a laba.
There's nothing balancing, because the way that we should be looking at it, right? So back in the day is a huge misconception that we should have as many children, a quiver full of them, because that is actually wickedness.
But the same Bible says, before a man builds a house,
exactly,
you
should
count your
costs, right? You should count your costs. Say my parents now, they have like 8 children. And then when they were working actively, they were providing for the house and all that. And you know how it is. Even then, when we say, things were a lot better, say it was a lot better, and they were providing for our needs and all of that. However, they were only able, while they were actively in service, they were only able to train 4 out of 8.
And left the remaining 4.
And then they left the remaining 4.
For the first 4.
For the first 4 to take care of. Come on.
But that's been our culture.
It's been our culture, but it doesn't make it right.
Oh, definitely.
It doesn't make it right. So that's what we're talking about. Say, don't think, because you have a strength down there, you should just continue to...
Until it's finishing.
What's finishing? Because some men think because they're still very sexually active, they should keep having children, right? And then by the time you get, don't forget, say you get brother for house, so don't forget, say your sister deal and all that, and then you put the burden, the financial burden, or the responsibility on the senior ones, right? Yes, that's how it's been, but that doesn't make it right.
Okay, so should couples talk about money before marriage or only after marriage?
I will say that before marriage makes everything easier, so that we'll agree. When we started, we're making 100,000 as a family. What do? As we grow or we go higher in our career, and then we start to make 200,000, then how do we shift our focus? You understand? We can decide to have luxury vehicles, or we can decide to move to a high-end community. So these are the conversations that need to be had. How many children? Because these are the things that will affect the finances. How many children should we have? What portion of our earnings go into what account,
and all that.
you know, so the
And what
general
expenditure.
account, expense account, the personal account. So these are the conversations that should have been had, so that when I start to buy, you know, that bag that I was telling that she has promised to that she's going to buy. So when I go out and actually buy that bag, nobody will carry
How
eye
much is
for
money?
me.
How much is money?
Money now water.
How much is money? Do couples talk about their individual debts before they get married?
Oh yeah.
Because before you know it, you get married and then somebody comes to start dragging and say, she's owing me a bag she bought for me.
I mean, those ones should be reasonable. But let's look at, you know, this part of the world, right, where people are getting to student
Mortgages
loan.
and
Student loan.
Okay.
Mortgage is a reasonable debt, right? Because you build your equity, right? But when you get into credit card debts, when you get maybe student loan you can also is also debatable, right? But then it's a debt that needs to be. A credit card is one that can ruin somebody, the credit score wise. Okay, so one of the things that needs to be discussed about finances should also be the debt that you've acquired prior to you getting into this relationship. How do you feel if somebody should bring up money matter in the early stages of a relationship?
Because we're saying everything now in retrospect, right? You know, money matter was like, if you talk about it,
Like
you are materialistic, or you are here for the money. So most times, so I understand when women don't talk about money, because we have this this narrative or this stigma that's like, she wants to know how much the man earns. She wants to know so that she will know whether, because she's a gold digger or she's here for the money. So those things were shied away from. But no, that's the reality you're going to be in. So if you don't talk about it before marriage, it's going to bite you in the foot.
All right. So should finances be a deal breaker? Should it be one of the topics, the foremost topics that we discuss when we're getting into a relationship? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Leave your comments in the comment section.
Yes. One of the things we're teaching our children is how to be open about discussions. Don't just be dating and be going for dates and with cinema dates and all that. These are very deep topics to talk about, because it could save you from a bad relationship.
All right. So don't forget to like, share, and comment, subscribe, and
see you next time.
Thank you for watching.